Alright, let's get into it. So today breaking down Ottman Azaitar versus Matt Frevola. Alright, so Ottman's got a little bit of hype behind him. I think he's 13-0 at the moment. A few knockouts in the UFC. Quick ones as well. He definitely has the power advantage in this matchup against Matt Frevola, who has been knocked out cold in the UFC before. And, has been dropped a few times. So it's interesting to see how Matt's chin will hold up in this matchup because it's definitely the hardest hitter he's versed in his UFC career. Matt coming off a 14-month layoff on the low. I think it was 236 that he last fought at. Fought Jalen Turner. No, was it? No. Luis Pena in some fight night. So yeah, don't worry about that. Oh yeah, that was the Waterson Jacek card. This is the first orthodox opponent he's fought since Reyes, so Marco Polo Reyes, in his UFC career. So he's got a training partner, Billy Quarantillo, who's orthodox, so that's his main training partner. So he definitely gets a lot of looks in the orthodox stance, but, it's just something to note. Yep, and then when you look on Ottman's record, he's got a lot of quick finishes, and then the decisions that he's going to, he hasn't really been tested, or it's kind of just one-way traffic, and the guy's just really durable. Matt Frevola has the potential to make it a competitive fight, and test Ottman's cardio, because you look at him, he's pretty built, he's got not much fat on his body. And he's obviously pretty fast twitch, so it's interesting to see how his cardio will hold up in a competitive back and forth fight. Also, Ottman, seeing as he's undefeated, he has a few holes in his game, but he hasn't had a reason to change those since he's undefeated, and he keeps getting these first round knockouts. Alright, so let's break down the striking of these two guys. So Ottman, his probably favourite combos is the right overhand or the straight right, and then finishes it up with a left hook. I believe that's what he caught Kama Worthy with. The straight right when his opponents are closing the distance, the overhand right when his opponents are closing the distance is also one of his favourite combinations, or just his favourite strike, and that's what he knocked Timo Packalén out with. He's pretty limited in his amount of combos that he throws. Like, it's either a stiff jab or a 2 to a 3. So it's, or a straight right to a 3. Or he'll mix it up, go straight right and then a 3 to the body. Like, he doesn't throw many jabs. He doesn't throw many uppercuts. He mostly likes that 2-3, 3-2 combo. Variations of it. So pretty much in the pocket, like in the clinch, he'll just spam hooks. Like, he'll spam left-right hooks. Just his clinch offense is pretty much his clinch defense is pretty much just offense. Like, he won't like try and break the Muay Thai plum clinch, or the collar ties. He'll just kind of just start throwing hooks and hope his opponent backs away or gets dropped or something like that. Obviously he's got a few holes in his game, but he hasn't really needed to change them as far as in his career. So what else has he got? So when he's coming in for the the left hook, he takes a big step to the left. It's coming, because he doesn't feint the left hook very often. If he's stepping out to the left, he's most likely just going to throw it. He does feints with his straight right or a jab, but you don't really need to worry about that because he doesn't throw too many jabs. He just doesn't feint the left hook very often. So if he's stepping in to his left, with covering a fair amount of distance, you can suspect that he's gonna throw a left hook. As he's throwing combos in the pocket, his hands will drop just naturally. So he can get caught in the pocket by like an uppercut or maybe a knee if his opponent's got a strong enough Muay Thai clinch. We'll go down to Matt Frevola and what he brings to the table in the striking. So Matt, he comes out very aggressively. Like, every fight comes out says he's going to take the center of the ring, pretty much just pressure his opponent, look for an early takedown, or just look to pressure. But yeah, once he gets tagged a few times, he is willing to take the back foot and pretty much stay on the back foot for the rest of the fight. He started off very aggressively versus Lando, started very aggressively versus, I think it was, what's his name, Jalen Turner. And I think the same with Pena as well. But yeah, it's very strange, but he just seems to do it every fight. So I'm not sure what the game plan is there, or it's just natural. So yeah, most of his stand-up offense is the right overhand. Like he's always got that, that right hand cocked. He's taken these short steps in, try to get into range and just throw the right overhand pretty much. Doesn't really set it up too much. His opponents, when they get caught by it, they're so focused on the takedown because he uses the same entry for the double leg on the fence, that they, can get caught by the right overhand. Yeah, so pretty much that's it for Matty Frevola. In the grappling, so Matt most likely will want to take the fight there in this case. So we'll keep going with Matt Frevola. So he will throw some combinations in the pocket, so like left, right hook, just to pretty much set up that fence takedown. So he'll, throw the right overhand and then immediately shoot in for a double leg. In the open, like in the middle of the mat, he will shoot for a single or a low single, and then work for a single leg. He doesn't shoot many doubles or blast doubles or anything, reactive doubles. In the open, he mostly goes to that single. And yeah, so when he is on the fence and he's stalling on a takedown or a single or a double leg, mostly a double leg, he puts his head on the inside, which, makes it harder to complete the takedown, but also when he's stalling, it protects his head from like Travis Brown elbows, which I think Azaitar has a finish by Travis Brown elbows maybe, but like he's definitely used them before, when I was watching tape. So yeah, that's a good thing that he'll have in this matchup. He can, when he is on top, he can like rush submission attempts or guard passes and end up on bottom or reversed, or, in a 50-50 scramble and they end up getting back to the feet. And another thing he does is that he will jump for this arm in guillotine, when, it's a 50-50 position, and he'll go for an arm in guillotine, frequently. He'll probably do at least once every second fight. So obviously that's not great to do if it's not one of your main ways you finish fights. He probably was doing it, pre-UFC, not 100% sure, but yeah, it's just not great to do in the UFC. For Ottman, he is a bit of grappling too. I think he was a wrestling champ or something in Turkey or whatever. But yeah, he's pretty much looking to get back to his feet immediately after he gets taken down. And when he does get taken down, he'll give his back up pretty much every time. Yeah. And yeah, his takedowns, if he wants to get the fight to the ground, they're more like opportunistic. So say if their clinch trip is just presenting itself, he'll take it. Like he doesn't really go for takedowns very often, or if the opponent's off balance, he'll kind of go for a trip there, or maybe if he catches a kick, he'll sweep the rear leg or the posting leg and go for a takedown. But he doesn't really look for the takedown. I'd say they're more opportunistic. When he is on bottom, he has a pretty loose guard, and he will hold on to opponents to, communicate to the ref that he would like the fight to be stood up. So yeah, off his back, I'm not too impressed, but obviously hasn't had a real reason to change that in his career, because he's never lost a fight like that or lost a fight in general. Okay, got a few more points here. So when he's on top, he's not looking for subs, he's just looking for ground and pound. When he's on bottom though, he'll let opponents isolate limbs. Even if he's on top, he'll let opponents isolate limbs and go for an armbar triangle. I'm not too high on his BJJ. I think it's, fairly white belt. And when he is in a scramble, so like if his opponent was going to drive a double leg, or just like stall on a double leg, and he reverses position, he goes for these like straight knees, like to the head. Obviously legal because the opponent's posture's just broken. He's just leaning over, but it's still not high percentage. And like a guy like Matt Frevola could just catch that and start driving for a double leg, or just catch it and start attacking a single. So how these guys win fights? We'll go with Ottman. So he has, considerable power in both hands. Obviously got a few finishes on his record. He's got killer instinct, so when he does sense the finish, or when he does, he can sense the finish, is what I'm trying to say. Also, he feints quite a bit. Not with the left hook, but feints the jab, the straight right, a few kicks. A lot of feints. Good. So Matt Frevola, how he wins. He's got decent cardio. He has a lot of grit, a lot of will. He'll push a pace even if he is tired. And he's also, he's very tough. He's a blue collar fighter. If there ever was one. He's not too highly skilled, but he gets these wins in the UFC by just being really gritty and just tenacious on takedowns. Just being really, really tough guy. So, you got to respect it. But, mostly in the skill sets, he's at a skill disadvantage in most of his UFC fights. And how these guys lose? We'll stay with Matt Frevola. So he's got poor top control. He leaves way too much space in between him and his opponent. He doesn't engage his hips at all, doesn't try to stay tight or anything like that. On the feet, he's very hittable. He's his chin's pretty good, but it's he's very hittable, so it's just dicey. And usually when he does fight to decision, he's usually the one on the back foot. He's backing up, most of the fight, except for the very start. And sometimes he can back up straight onto the fence and allow his opponents to clinch him up there and just control him. It's just not a good look being on the back foot, being the one getting pushed against the fence in fights. The judges just don't see it too highly. For Ottman, he also can be pressured to the fence. He can be definitely pressured to the fence. I'd like to see Matt use a high pressure game in this one. Ottman also doesn't check too many leg kicks. He's got poor takedown defense on the fence. He can get caught on the feet. He doesn't have great striking defense, especially on the back foot. He will just keep his hands away. He'll just look to strike pretty much on the back foot. He'll look to throw combinations, which obviously isn't the greatest idea. Can't generate that much power when you're going backwards, and also you square your stance. Just easier to knock down pretty much. So that path to victory for both these guys. I'd really like to see Ottman, if Matt decides to, take him down on the fence, which I have a suspicion that he might, throw some Travis Brown elbows, even if his head's on the inside, just try and land some, because he can stall on the double leg, and just don't let him catch his breath and recharge and then go for another takedown. Just, try and land some offense, just so you're not being totally defensive on the fence. So when Matt throws his kicks, I'd like to see a hard counter, probably a straight right. And then pretty much when Matt's just rushing in or, closing distance to land that right overhand, and it's coming because he's doing those short steps, look for a counter, maybe uppercut. I think Matt's a southpaw, isn't he? Is he? I'm not sure. However, let's look it up real quick. He's not? Okay. Yeah, so pretty much that. Fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. Yeah, all good. So pretty much that, yeah, that right overhand that he tries to throw. Sorry, I was looking at, I wasn't even trying to check if Matt was a southpaw. I was trying to check if fucking Ottman was a southpaw. But I won't waste any more time. I'm pretty sure he's just an orthodox. Yeah, yeah, Ottman's definitely an orthodox. So yeah, I don't know. So if he's going in with a straight right, you know, that left hook's open. Either, yeah, left hook, rear uppercut, you know, they're all viable options here. For Matt, heavy pressure game plan, as I said before, pretty much just pressure him to the fence, shoot, try and take him down, try and control him in top position, reactive double leg if he, you know, telegraphs that lead left hook, which he can overextend on that left hook, and, you know, try and, because Ottman will brawl, so try and initiate a brawl, just, you know, near the fence, or it doesn't even need to be near the fence, but, you know, throw 2, 3, 4 strikes in a row, just hooks. Ottman will reciprocate, and then, you know, as he's throwing his hooks, shoot in for that double leg, or single, because, yeah, obviously his hands will be occupied, and he won't be able to get those underhooks very quickly. In my opinion, this is another hand-picked fight for, like, Ottman by the UFC. Frevola, you know, he has a path to victory with the wrestling and, you know, going hard on the fence. But, yeah. So Azaitar's, you know, BJJ and his grappling as a whole isn't great, but I just think Matt's tendency to trade and continue to fight, like, when he's hurt, will, like, severely hurt him in this matchup. Yeah, I see Ottman probably KOing him, at least hurting him early. Maybe even getting the finish, knocking him down, probably getting a bit of top control. To be honest, I wouldn't feel comfortable betting on either of these guys at their current money lines. But let's have a look if that's changed. Where are we? There we are. So the prediction is, Ottman by first round KO. The money line is too high for, you know, to bet on him, just considering the holes in his game and just the matchup that this is, that could absolutely exploit those holes. But I don't know. It's just Frevola. I don't know if he's durable enough to take those shots. I did want to bet Frevola before tape because, you know, I thought the money line was a bit too wide. But yeah, he's just too crazy. He's too willing to trade. But if Frevola's money line got up to 250, I might chuck a unit on it. But other than that, I can't really recommend any plays or anything really on this fight. But yeah, we'll go to the next one.